So coming directly to the third slide, please next please. So here you can see the sun rising is there. On the other side, people are doing some exercise that is well known as Surya Namaskar. So this is an old Indian tradition that to do workout in the sunlight, and this workout in sunlight will be helpful to synthesize the vitamin D. So it may be known for many years ago. Even we have learned few decade earlier that vitamin D is important for various aspects of health. Next, please.
Oh, Pinky.
Next, please. So, how this vitamin D is synthesized in our body? So, it is a brief glimpse about the vitamin D. So, vitamin D actually synthesized in the skin, and further it is modulated in the liver, and finally it is actively converted into vitamin D in the kidney, and it will act on your intestine and bone to maintain the serum calcium and various other aspects. Next, please. So, what affects the vitamin D synthesis in the skin? So, if we are exposed to the sunlight, still there are some of the things that can inhibit the vitamin D synthesis in the skin, like if you are covered around the glass, meaning while you are traveling in the car, you are applying a sunscreen on your face or hands to avoid from the sunburn. You are wearing thick clothes, and if your color is or you are having heavy pigmentation in your color, then maybe a vitamin D synthesis will be less. And then where you are living, that is also another important latitude, where if it is more than 40 degree, then vitamin D synthesis will be less. And that is very well known that in the western countries vitamin D synthesis is less because they are most of the people are staying about that 40-degree latitude, and that's why in the winter very less sunlight and very less exposure to sun, and that is responsible for the frequent vitamin D synthesis, vitamin D deficiency. So now the question comes is that next please, how much sun exposure is sufficient to synthesize the vitamin D? Next please. One minimal erythemal dose is synthesized 40 units of vitamin D, that is sufficient for that particular day. Now the question comes is that how much time we should expose ourselves to the skin. So it is said that 10 to 15 minutes per day or 2 hours per week, and if your face and hands are exposed to the sunlight, that is sufficient for the vitamin D synthesis of that particular day. Now the question comes is what is ideal time? So ideal time is approximately 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the ideal time for the vitamin D synthesis. But the condition is that your face should become red while you are exposed to sunlight. The intensity of sunlight should be that much, and you should be exposed yourself for that much. So meaning by that, if you are exposed in the summer season, that may be for even for 10 minutes will be sufficient. But for the winter, it may take longer time to synthesize much amount of vitamin D. Next, please. So vitamin D has a many biological functions, and not going to the very detail, but the most important function is maintain serum calcium level in your blood. It is important for the bone health, and now various theories are upcoming that vitamin D helps in blood pressure regulation. It helps in cancer prevention, and now people are talking that it will prevent from the type 1 diabetes, that is a immune mediated diabetes, and there is some evidence that it will also help to prevent from the type 2 diabetes. So that's why vitamin D is an upcoming molecule from various aspects in last few decades. So what should be the normal vitamin D? The normal vitamin D should be 20 to 30 nanogram per ml. So in this particular slide, next slide please. In this particular slide, that is vitamin D deficiency, vitamin D insufficiency, vitamin D normal. Hello, am I audible?
I'm just requesting the audience to mute themselves and switch off their cameras for better activity.
Okay. So vitamin D continuum means if your vitamin D level is less than 10 nanogram per ml, you are vitamin D deficient. If it is between 20 to 30, if you are insufficient. If it is more than 30, it is considered normal vitamin D. Fine. So these are the normal levels of the vitamin D. Why vitamin D deficiency? Next, please. why vitamin D deficiency is so prevalent in our country, in spite of such a bright sunlight. And if you remember that, or if you recall that many of the foreign travelers comes to India to have the better sunlight exposure. So in spite of better high amount of sunlight exposure, why vitamin D deficiency is there in India? So probably our skin has a more melanin pigment, and that may be inhibiting actually to the vitamin D synthesis in the skin. Second cause may be the high level of pollution, and that's why the ultraviolet B rays are not able to reach to the ground as compared to the place where the pollution is not there. And third and most important thing is that though the vitamin D is very less in the diet, especially in the vegetarian diet, and most of the people in India are vegetarian, in spite of some are non-vegetarian, but their diet of non-vegetarian diet is very less, maybe once in a week or so. So that's why the vitamin D, we are vitamin D deficient because of these reasons. And some of these reasons, next slide please. This may be another picture. You can appreciate that when we are traveling in the sunlight, and we are trying to avoid the sunlight, so we cover most of the time our whole body, including the face, hands, and the many time people wear the gloves on the hands also to avoid the sunlight. But that is not a very nice practice, and we should expose ourselves to the sunlight for the better sunlight vitamin D synthesis. Next please. So another picture where we cover our face in various forms, and just very hardly any part of the face or body is exposed to the sunlight. And if you are staying in the home, then again vitamin D synthesis will not take place. Next. Next. This is another picture where you can see we are traveling in the car, and the car is often AC is on and it is covered. Of course, it is indicated and required. So we are going to the sunlight, but vitamin D synthesis will not take place again. So these are the multiple factors. Because of that, vitamin D synthesis is very deficient in our population, and we are having the rampant vitamin D deficiency. Next, please. And on the top of that, now this era of COVID, where we have to wear the face mask and we are not going frequently out. So these are another reason for the vitamin D deficiency, because the maybe 30 to 40% of the face is covered by this face mask also. And the COVID is further augmented the problem, because next please, no outdoor activity, and if outdoor activity is there, we are covered most of the time. And it is going to increase further because now winter is coming soon, and during the winter we are further going to cover ourselves, and further vitamin D deficiency will be there. Next please. This particular slide is just showing the vitamin D deficiency is more prevalent in the winter as compared to the summer season. So you can see the vitamin D level on the second column. In Jan and Feb, vitamin D level is actually much less as compared to the summer season, which is the April, May and June. So that is the another reason. The season also affects the vitamin D levels. So what are the recommended vitamin D level for the various age groups? For children, it is 400 international units. For adult, it is 400. For pregnancy and adult patient, it is up to 1,000 to 800 international units. Next slide, please. So these are the various recommended doses of the vitamin D for various age groups. Next, please. Now coming, the question is how to treat the vitamin D deficiency. So you can take, it is very easy, because now the option to recover from vitamin D deficiency is that people, those are vegetarian, obviously you cannot recommend them to take the non-vegetarian diet. People are those are having the allergy to sunlight, or sunlight exposure is causing problem. We cannot ask all the time to go to the sunlight for the vitamin D synthesis. Or the best bet is to treat vitamin D deficiency by the vitamin D supplementation. And it is very easy, not that difficult, but the important thing is that you have to take regular vitamin D. So the vitamin D is available in various forms in our country, in form of station, in form of tablets, injectables. So you can take the vitamin D tablets and sachet, and the recommended dose is one sachet per week for 8 weeks, then once a month. Now you can ask the question. Now you can ask the question, how long this we have to take vitamin D? So you have to take this vitamin D throughout the life. That is the answer, because vitamin D synthesis do store in our human body, but if you not take for longer period of time, again we will be vitamin D deficient. So vitamin D should take lifelong, and once it is level is reached to 30 nanogram per ml, you can take once a month. Now few slides on the vitamin D and COVID-19. Next slide, please. Next slide. I think you have gone back. Next. Okay. So vitamin D and COVID-19. So you can see that the various risk factors for the COVID-19 mortality. So one of them is latitude. You must have seen the people are dying more in the Spain, more in the Britain, more in the France, more in the US. The reason is that because their latitude is above where the vitamin D synthesis is less. Second is age-related problems. Again, the similar thing. The aging people are having more mortality, and the same thing happening there. Then chronic lung disease, obesity, diabetes, and the cytokine storm and all these things. People having these all red color, latitude, age, chronic lung disease, obesity, diabetes, cytokine storm, all these people are at more risk for the mortality. And the vitamin D directly plays a role at all level. Like high latitude, vitamin D synthesis will be less. Like more the age, vitamin D synthesis will be less. Like obese people, they are more prone for the vitamin D deficiency. Diabetic people, again, more prone the vitamin D deficiency. And it has been also documented that people those are vitamin D deficient, they are having high level of the cytokine, and the cytokine storm is the major reason for the mortality in the. Next slide. So you can see here in this slide that on the left side, vitamin D level in nanomole per liter, and these various countries are there. And second, here, and you can see, hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Yeah. So next slide, you can next panel, you can see that case mortality rate. So you can see very clearly where the vitamin D level and age is more, the mortality is less. So you can see the US relatively less mortality because vitamin D level is good. But as the vitamin D level start falling, like US to Iran to France to UK, and then subsequently they can see the case mortality rate is increasing with the adjustment with the vitamin D. So the vitamin D is an important component to help you to take care of this COVID part in during this period of COVID-19. So the target vitamin D, already I mentioned you, 30 to 80 nanogram per ml is safe, and better to quickly achieve the target vitamin D level. If somebody is not taking vitamin D, it is recommended that should take the vitamin D and achieve their target level. And then they can maintain their vitamin D level by taking once a month this vitamin D tablets or the vitamin D sachet. Now, this is all about the vitamin D. So from this slide, the message is clear that we should take vitamin D to prevent from the COVID mortality and morbidity, and it will otherwise also important. So when I'm going to the next part of my presentation, that why we should worry about the excess weight. And we all know that during this COVID period, some people gain the weight probably because their physical activity decreased because of less outdoor activity, but some people reduce the weight because of they are busy with their indoor activity as well as household work, like whatever you say, this home cooking, cleaning, washing, everything is there, and that some people lost the weight. And what I observed is some of our colleagues, those who are busy home at working this, they have reduced the weight, and their metabolic profile is also improved, meaning by their lipid profile improved, their glycemic control improved, and they lost the weight. So there is a good opportunity to study that how weight is affecting the individual during this period. But many people gain the weight also, and the reason is clear because they are not, neither they were busy in the participating in the homework, or nor they are going out because of this COVID situation. So why weight is worrying? So this next slide, please. Next. Okay, next, please. Next. So here is the what slide is showing why paradox. So you can see here that Dr. J.S. Yudkin and C.S. Yagnik, they are two scientists. Those are working in the field of metabolic bone disease, metabolic area. So you can see that their body fat percentage. So Yudkin, he is from a Britisher. His body fat percent is 9.1%, while the Yagnik from India, so his body fat percent is 21%. Fine. So you can see that both having the similar BMI. Their BMI is 20.3, 20.3. But Dr. Yudkin has a fat is just 9%, but Yagnik has a body fat percentage of 21.2%. So there is an inherent problem in among Indians about this high body fat percentage in spite of the normal BMI. Next slide, please. So again, you can here see that they both are having comparable age, but they are having more body fat percentage. That picture is shown here. So that body fat percentage is more in Indians, and that is actually inherent property of Indians. Next, please. Next. So we have the double trouble in that sense. One is that we are lean and thin and our muscle mass is less, and the other trouble is that we are, in spite of lean and thin, our body fat is more. So we have to overcome these two situations, and those are actually causing the problem. This may be a reason that obesity, though not that rampant all over the country as compared to the Western countries, but we have more frequent diabetes and more frequent metabolic problems like hypertension, insulin resistance, and polycystic ovarian disease, etc. Next, please. So the question comes is that why the obesity epidemic in our country? So one is that behavior. Behavior is very important. Number two, physical activity. Number three, environmental factors. Number four, culture. Culture meaning by that we have a habit to eat late night, attend the parties, and more frequent celebration of more than one event. So that may be one of the cultural practice predisposing for us for the obesity. Then genetic susceptibility is important. Then food and beverages. So in Western countries, calorie dense food is not a actually the routine in the Western countries. On the contrary, in our country, we are more fond of sweets and all these things, and those are actually having lot of calorie dense food, and that is responsible for the more weight gain. So these are the various causes. Now come next slide, please. So you can see here the classification of genetic obesity in humans. So you can see the first three figures, the obesity syndromes, and obesity is because genetic reasons are very few, actually just 10% patients are having obesity because of the genetic reason. Remaining obesity is polygenic. So more than 90% of people are actually having the obesity because of polygenic nature, and that is actually contributed by our environment. So like our dietary habits, our physical activity, and all these things. Next, please. Okay, just to keep you awake in this presentation, I am showing you this slide. So over a period of 25 years, it has changed significantly. So on one side, you can see our television was like this. It was more big, heft, and the person was lean and thin. But now you can see on the right side, our television became thinner, but we became obese in last 20 years or 25 years. These are because of changing various practices in our population. Next, please. Next, please. So you can see this is another situation. People are eating and doing less exercise, gaining more and more weight. But here in this slide, the important line which is written is that what is ideal body weight? And I'm sure everybody knows about it, that what is their ideal body weight. But I'm just recapitulating here that what is ideal body weight. So ideal body weight is very simple to calculate. Height in centimeter minus 100. So that gives you ideal body weight. Person who is having 170 centimeter of height, so you deduct 100, so his ideal body weight is 70 kg. So each one of us can calculate our ideal body weight. If the body weight is more than ideal, in that case we can try to reduce our weight. That will be very helpful. And then stress is very important part of the can be contributing for the weight gain. So I recommend all the head of department don't give stress to their department colleagues and the junior colleagues, but same time suggest that they should also give stress to their head of department also, because stress can cause lot of problems. Next, please. So here is a slide on the stress, and I already think that each one should not give stress to each other. That is important. Okay, because stress can cause lot of problems. So avoid stress in any kind. Next, please. For this is picture for the smokers. Those are smoking. Smoking also can predispose for the obesity, or you can say that can cause a lot of other problems. So because, and here the picture patient is sitting is equal to the smoking. If you are sitting for a longer period of time, it is equivalent to the smoking. So don't sit for a longer period of time, either in the office, whether it is home. You should get up and walk for some minutes. Next, please. So what are the consequences of obesity? Consequences of obesity are very, very significant. It reduces your life expectancy, obesity. Next, please. Obesity, hypertension, and heart disease. Okay. So a person is obese, they are likely to develop these three problems. One is diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. And I just want to tell you, these are the three major killers right now in our society: diabetes, hypertension, heart disease. So if you are not obese, you can prevent yourself from developing all these three major diseases. And as I already mentioned you, what are the ideal body weight? A person who is having ideal body weight, they are less likely to develop these three problems. Next, please. Very simple. West is not equal to West. Remember, I am just referring here one thing, that a common habit to eat more. When it is not required, sometimes we eat more, because in India there is a tradition that we request on every occasion to people to eat something like that. I am from Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, there is a very common tradition that whosoever comes to your home or as a guest, we serve them a lot of food. And many times people is not actually not hungry or not want to eat, but still because of this social compulsion they are eating. And I'll give you an example, very simple example. If you eat a half chapati extra every day, you are going to get 2 kg weight in every year. So you can imagine that if you are taking just half chapati extra, or you are taking 1 cup of tea extra every day, then you are going to gain 2 kg weight every year. And 2 kg weight gain is very, very risky. So the message is that West is not equal to West. Just don't put everything in your West that can be harmful. Next, please. So to avoid the obesity, to reduce the obesity, we can do the intermittent fasting. That is a very great concept going on. And that in that case, you can do the fasting, meaning by that 5 days you can have your normal food, 2 days you can do the intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting meaning by that you don't eat anything for 16 to 18 hours, so that you can plan your schedule, like how can you remain fasting for these 16 hours. So you can do it daily also, and it is a very well practice in our mythology, or you can go back to our common like Navratra, 9 days, like in Ramadan during our Muslim community. So there is a fasting as a major role to take care of your health. But now the things are different actually. We are doing fasting, but we are doing feasting in the evening. I'll give you some example. So what people eat on the fast day. Here is the photograph of one of the thali which is served in many hotels, and even at our home also when we do Navratra fast. When we do the Navratra fast, the evening time we eat like this. So it is actually not, we are not fasting, because if you are doing the feasting, then everything is gone west actually. So you should avoid this kind of habit to reduce the weight. And that's why the people not losing the weight in the Navratra, even they are doing the 9 days fast. So take care of that. Next, please. Fasting is very, very important. And 2018, the Nobel Prize was receiver of the Nobel Prize winner were Tasuku Honjo and James Elsin. They propose the intermittent fasting, and they say that if you do the intermittent fasting, that will prevent from the lot of non-communicable disease problem, but they propose that it will reduce the possibility of the malignancy also, and that is on the basis of the plan that is autophagy, that if you fast, then your cells in the metabolic component of the cell will be used during the fast time, and then they are less likely to develop the malignancy because of the autophagy mechanism. So these are the another advantage of doing the fasting regularly. So avoid, next slide please. Avoid this kind of food, and that is very very common. एक के साथ एक free है, आज Wednesday है तो pizza free है, something like that is very interesting. Ads are keep coming, and our kids are especially very fond of all these things. So we have to overcome of these kind of habits also. Next, please. So 3 things. Next, avoid hurry, worry, and curry. That is a very famous triad. Hurry, worry, and curry. So hurry leads to anxiety, so avoid hurry. Worry leads to lot of problems, so worry, and then curry. Because of these, all these 3 things shown in the picture are associated with the trans fat, and this trans fat and high calorie diet is responsible for the weight gain. Avoid that. I am just specially speaking on the forum of the Alumni Association of the Punjab, and in Punjab sweets, there's 2 sweet shops are there in Punjab University, and lot of people are visiting there, or if they are not visiting, bringing this food into their department of the various occasions and using them, and that is actually a problematic to eat this kind of food frequently. Next, please. Because all these things are having the trans fat, very high amount of trans fat is there in all these foods, because the people, those are cooking, or those are frying these foods in that oil. We don't know when this oil was changed. Every day they are putting some oil, and that burning time and again, and that is actually responsible for the high amount of the trans fat. So we should avoid the trans fat, and trans fat is very very dangerous for our body, and that's why the recommended trans fat is 0%. We should not take any kind of trans fat. From next time when you eat, check it for that, and especially it is mentioned on the various product that what amount of trans fat is there. So avoid any kind of trans fat. Now coming to the what is the solution, how to reduce the weight. So weight reduction is possible. One is the regular weight measurement. That is very very, next slide please. That is very very important. Now everybody should recall that what was their weight at the time of marriage. Please recall your weight at what was the weight at the time of your marriage. So if you see that you cannot, for the gents, they cannot wear their what you call their coat and pants when they use during their marriage time, because that is already over within 5 years. So meaning by that they gain the significant weight in during this period. So regular weight measurement, if you do your regular measure, then you know that how much you are gaining. Keep good health record. It is very important that you should, when you get your test, keep them saved in the Excel file, so that you can see that what was 5 years ago, now what is there. So what is happening, and I can see very clearly most of us actually gained the weight, and that actually deteriorated our problem. So we have to try to control that. So restrict calorie dense food and no eating after next slide please. So no eating after the sunset, that is very important. Anna Kholna, try not to eat after 7 p.m. That is another issue that we should take care. Eat when you are hungry. So that is another thing, we should do that. When we are hungry, we should eat. But it is very common nowadays to eating all the time. We are eating all the time. That may be another problem which is responsible for the obesity. Next slide, please. It is very common that many times people keep telling that obesity runs in the family. We are obese because of our family and gender, family condition, family. But what I want to say here is that it is not like that, because it is again I have shown in the previous slides that genetics plays a very limited role in the obesity. Actually, the environment plays a very, very important role in the obesity. So obesity runs in family. I don't agree with that, but I agree with that obesity runs in the family. Next slide, please. Next slide. So you can see here that one member is obese, then most of the time whole family is obese. So it is because, next slide, please. It is not because obesity runs in the family, but because no one runs in the family. That is the cause for the obesity. So treatment of obesity is actually familial. We have to treat complete family with relation to your diet, exercise, sleep, etc. so that you can overcome the obesity. Next slide, please. So obesity not only runs in the family, but obesity sometimes runs in the department also. So I'll request all the department people to take care of their obesity by taking care of healthy habits at the workplace also. Less parties, less calorie dense food. So now coming to the next is one size does not fit all. So next is that exercise. How to do the exercise, and these are the various things are there. Chandigarh is famous for three things: Barish, Kharish and Sifarish. And because of these reasons, it is very difficult in Chandigarh to do the exercise, though there are a lot of parks are there, lot of open space is there. So you can choose your activity. And I am very happy about the Punjab University, especially because Punjab University is a place where almost all activities are there, and they can take the advantage of open space, they can take advantage of badminton court, they can take advantage of gym and open space, everything, and people can take advantage of that. Next, please. So keep rotating your exercise, because like in Chandigarh, as I mentioned, the rainy season, it is difficult to go out every day. So they can do the exercise at home or in the gymnasium, or they can play badminton. Or in the summer season, it is difficult to because of the... Next, please. Next, please. So there is various type of exercise are there, and you can use various type of exercise. And I have learned in this COVID-19 pandemic time that in spite of not going out, I used to complete every day 12,000 steps at home. I am not staying in a big house. I am staying in a small flat, that is 3-bedroom flat, but I able to do the 1200 steps, 12,000 steps every day. The reason is that you should keep a target. If you keep a target, you can do that. So I'll suggest everyone to stick to that and target and complete your steps every day. Next, please. So exercise can be different for the different people. Like young people, they can do the cycling, gym, etc. For elderly people, they can do the yoga, simple weight training exercises, etc. Next slide. So there is one size does not fit to all, means by that you can keep rotating the exercise according to the season, according to your age, and according to your caliber. So next please. So exercise guide for the especially induced those are diabetics are the frequency. So they should do at least 5 days a week exercise. But I say 7 days a week exercise, that will be very helpful. And achieve the maximum heart rate, that is 60 to 80% the maximum heart rate, that you can calculate very easily. 220 minus age, that actually tells the maximum heart rate. Whatever it comes, it is 80% of that is called maximum heart rate. And at least 30 to 40 minutes per day should do the regular exercise. So that is a formula for the individuals with diabetes, that is a fit: frequency, intensity, and time. So next please. So it is very common. The doctor asks me to spend at least 1 hour per day on the treadmill. So the person is spending 1 hour on the treadmill. So you don't do like this kind of activity on the treadmill. Do advise activity on the treadmill. Next, please. So I'll end my presentation over here by saying that very famous Indian quote, that "Pehla sukh nirogi kaya," meaning by that the first and most important satisfaction or happiness is that free of the disease. Nirogi kaya means no disease. Duja sukh ghar mein maya. Second happiness is money at home. Third is that beautiful and the good wife. I don't know, many people may not agree with that, but it is good to have that. Chautha sukh putra ho agyakarik, means your son is your obedient, that is very good. पांचवा हो घर हो अच्छा, सुंदर हो वास. छठा सुख हो अच्छा पास. और सातवां सुख हो मित्र गनेरे, और नहीं जगत में दुख बहुत तेरे. तो ये जो हिंदी का जो कोट है, इट इज वेरी वेरी फेमस and it is very important. You can see the first thing is that you should get about disease. Health is the most important one. But this has another very important thing here is that all things will, if you have first, then you can enjoy the second. If you have second, then you can enjoy the third. You have third, then you can enjoy the fourth. So meaning by that, if you have the first, then only you can enjoy all the rest of the things. So that's why health is very very important. And coming to the last slide, next please. Next, please. This is my final slide, so that it is showing the picture that changing times. So you can see that knowledge on COVID is very dynamic, changing on the vitamin D, diabetes, and various things. So keep update yourself, keep safe, keep healthy, keep updated. Thank you very much for your patience listening. If there are any question or comment, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Doctor, I have a query that you have talked about vitamin D,
Yes.
but how to know about vitamin D, that I'm short of vitamin D? Is it my body pains would tell me, or test would tell me? Test is very expensive, so many of us would avoid it because
I think, sir, you asked a very very practical question, and the answer is that need not to go for a vitamin D test or vitamin D estimation. This is the answer. You need not to go for vitamin D estimation. Okay? Until proven otherwise, everyone is vitamin D deficient.
Right.
Okay? So everyone can take vitamin D. If they are not taking, that will be very very helpful. How to take vitamin D? You can consult your doctor. It is always better. If not, what I am telling very simple way is that vitamin D tablets sachet are available in the Indian market, and one tablet or one sachet per week for 8 weeks. I am repeating again. One sachet or one tablet of 60,000 units once per week for 8 weeks, then once a month.
Okay.
Now the next question is how long? I'll say lifelong.
This is for everyone, irrespective of the age.
Yeah, irrespective of the age, above 18 years, I can say this much. Above 18 years, adult.
And for younger ones?
For younger one, you can give same dose in 15 days. You can give the one sachet 15 days, initially 18.
Hello.
And you can take
The statistics which you have given overdose of vitamin D.
Hello everyone. Sorry I had to mute on as before mics started muting and there was a lot of disturbance. We can take your questions from the chat and sir can answer that. Otherwise, the voices come and together. Sir, can you hear me?
Sonia, you could stop the presentation sharing and you could read out the questions to Dr. Vedada.
Sir, I tried
No problem.
sharing, but I am not able to, so I can read out the questions.
No problem. I can read the question. I can answer. No problem.
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay, sir.
Very
Okay.
I have written some questions, Professor.
question is that some says that sunrise. Question asked by Dr. Kamboj is that some say that sun rising and sunset time are more ideal for vitamin D. So the proven time is preferred is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. That is preferred time according to the available evidences. Okay. Next question is by the what are the dietary source of vitamin D for vegetarians? Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Sir, you audible. No problem.
Yes.
Okay. So the dietary sources for vitamin D for vegetarians are very limited. The limited sources, most of them are like you can eat the mushroom. Mushroom has a good amount of vitamin D. Other than vitamin D sources are for vegetarians are very, very limited. So best is to supplement themselves with the vitamin D tablets or sachet or expose themselves to the sunlight. These are the best three things vegetarians can do.
Doctor, in what form mushroom is to be taken? That is also important because we cook it, and once we cook it, we may lose it. So please elaborate on that.
I totally agree with you. And some of the people uses the mushroom in form of soup. They can use that. So they dried it and they can use in the soup so that if you warm it, it will not destroy. But if you cook it, it will destroy. That's the correct thing. I don't think we can eat mushroom as a without boiling or something like that. That is, I'm not sure if anybody taking mushroom in that, but people are taking mushroom in form of soup, etc. But I think again that is not a very practical solution because you cannot eat everyday mushroom. That is very clear.
Yes.
So best is that expose yourself to the sunlight, one, and the second thing is to take vitamin D supplement. That is the best idea.
Doctor, please clarify that 11 and 2 is best time, but other time is also good enough to make a good amount of vitamin D.
Yeah,
you may not think.
Yeah. Yes, I totally agree because 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. is our office hours for the most of the people. So I'm not saying that this is other time is not advisable. You can do other time also, but this is the best time. But you can expose yourself to other time also, no problem. Okay.
That's overdose of vitamin D is harmful for health.
No, oral dose is not harmful. Oral dose even better. It is absorbed better, and it will even not cause any kind of vitamin D toxicity also.
Since during the lockdown we cannot get our thing tested. So I'm taking every week vitamin D 60,000 units.
I think you don't take every week. Every week will be too much actually. So best is that now you can make it to once a month. That is okay.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
So even, Doctor, another question. Vitamin D can be taken through injections also. Is it better than? Is it better than oral also for instant rise in vitamin D in your body?
No, injection does not increase more rapid vitamin D level. Actually, oral tablets increases vitamin D level more rapid than the injection.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, and injection is advisable for them. Those are not unlikely to be, they are less compliant people, meaning by that they can miss their dose. Their vitamin injection is preferred, otherwise oral is preferred.
Doctor, is it vitamin D is a cause for fall of hair also in deficiency? People lose their hair, children and elders.
Well,
maybe.
I am not aware of that. Vitamin D deficiency can lose hair, but the thing is, surrogate thing is that if person is vitamin D deficient, he may be deficient to other things also. So in that case, that is likely that he may lose hair. But
So
not,
vitamin B12 is another thing which one loses with vitamin D also if one is
yeah.
deficient.
So actually, all deficiency can go hand in hand. I can say like that. Though that is to better understand. Yeah.
So one should take both vitamin D sachet once a week and also vitamin D along with it, maybe once in a week or more than that.
Yeah.
One question, sir. So normally it is said exposure to sun causes skin cancer. That is why we started using sunscreen. So how do we make a balance?
Yeah, so the balance is that one thing is that you can use sunscreen and you can take vitamin D supplementation. Best.
That we're taking once a month and taking vitamin D. So rest of the time I don't need to. Normally yes, it's 11 to 2 you said is the best time. But normally in summers we are advised by the doctors and the authorities that we should not go out in sun from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. That is the most dangerous time of day.
So what I'll suggest is that you can, that's why I mentioned earlier also, anytime, wherever possible, you go to sunlight. It is not like that always from 11 to 2. You can go anytime, but that is the best time.
So we can directly face the sun.
Yeah, directly face the sun in the sense that I am not telling you look at the sun, but you can expose yourself to sunlight. I am not telling you look at the sun. It's not like that.
It is okay to go out without sunscreen, or we should wear a sunscreen and then go out in sun?
So if you are having a problem like many people have sun allergy. If you have sun allergy, you don't go without sunscreen. But if you don't have sun allergy, you can go, that no harm in that.
And sir, what about sun cancer?
What about?
Skin cancer. Skin cancer because of exposure to sun.
I don't think skin cancer is a problem in India that common. It is not a frequent problem. It is more problem in the Western population, Australia and other countries. In India, this is not a big problem. If your vitamin D is less, before developing any kind of cancer, we may have other problems, bone problems, diabetes, and other things.
And sir, in chronic lymphocytic leukemia, so is there those people are said to be prone to skin cancer? So what about these people?
I think they should avoid. They should avoid, and they should take vitamin D supplementation.
So they should not be going out in sun.
Yeah,
or vitamin D.
Yeah, they should avoid. Yes, yes.
Doctor, non-veg food which is good for vitamin D and other?
Actually, the fish is the best. Actually, fish is the best.
Okay. In that also again we say not baked or fried.
Yeah, again.
Only cooked.
If you fry fish like in classical Indian tradition, then there will be a problem.
Doctor?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
If we are fasting, if we take the fasting as of 7 p.m. till maybe 11 or 12 a.m., would that count as an intermittent fasting too?
Yes, exactly. Anytime 16 to 18 hours fast is good. I'll suggest a very good way. Best way is that maybe you take your last meal in 4 or 5 p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can next 5 p.m. maybe by 8 or 9 you will be 16 hours already.
Okay. And you suggest twice a week for that?
Yeah, that will good. So that what will happen by taking 5 p.m. last meal, so you are avoiding any kind of meal in the evening, and that is possible also. And but same time you are ready to take your breakfast. This is an important meal of the day.
Okay. That's good.
So another thing, during those 16 to 18 hours, can we have something like coconut water or a fruit?
Yes, you can take liquid, and this is you should not take more than 150 calories or 200 calories, not more than that.
Like fresh coconut water or an apple? Something like
green
that.
tea.
Or almond.
Okay, you can take maybe some light fruit also. That is good. Okay, but and you can take definitely liquids. No problem. Yeah, not but
During the
milk or
fasting and
any,
eating.
not milk or
During the
any
16 hours.
high calorie
And
liquids.
what about milk? What about milk, sir? Milk?
Maybe avoided. Milk may be avoided because there are good calories.
Milk.
I'll just add, ma'am, the more you avoid, the better results you'll
Because sometimes you have the time, so just in case, so what can be had?
Yeah, you can take liquids. No problem.
Another question, doctor. Normally, I take my vitamin D monthly, but at the end of the month, maybe after
in case
25 days, I start getting things in my. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I start feeling I feel that I need the vitamin D. I don't know it's psychological or I really do need the vitamin D supplement again, but I normally feel that I need it after 25 days. Is that okay to have it after that?
It's okay. No problem. Yeah, it's okay. Fine. No problem. Yeah.
Okay, but my I'm a thyroid patient. I am recommended to take vitamin D supplement twice a month in winters. Is that okay too?
Yeah, some people there is some studies where they say in the winter you can once in fortnight, in summer you can take once in a month.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Thank you.
Dr. Sanjay,
Yeah.
I would, if there is a person who is a diabetic but on insulin and the last dose of insulin he takes 10 p.m., then they say that do not go for fast or for feast. Just have that insulin after your dinner.
Yeah.
If you are saying by after 7 p.m. or after say 6 p.m. one should not eat, that will upset the whole normal routine of insulin injections.
I think first of all, let me tell this is not for the diabetics. This
This is
whatever
not for
diabetic individuals. Whatever we are
Okay.
talking, intermittent fasting is not advisable for diabetic individuals with diabetes.
Yes, very right, very right.
Yeah.
Very
I
right.
underscore, I repeat this statement. People those are suffering from diabetes and those are taking anti-diabetic medication, they should avoid fasting and feasting.
Very right.
So
Very
what
right.
is the ideal routine? So what is the ideal routine for a diabetic person?
Ideal routine for diabetic person is that they can have the small meal and frequent meals, small frequent meals.
So
And
how long should be the fasting, the night fasting? Maximum or minimum? How long should be the night fasting, minimum or maximum? Number of hours I should go without eating.
And Dr. Sanjay,
so they can say approximately it can have 8 to 9 hours. By in night maybe 8, last dinner will be 7 to 8. Then they can be fast up to till morning. There's no problem.
Okay.
and Dr. Sanjay, somebody was asking about cancer in sunlight.
Yeah. So I told them that sunlight is not a major problem. Don't worry about it. In India, that is not a problem. So.
Thank you, Dr. Vadada, for the wonderful answers. And I suggest that we'll share your email with all the attendees in case they have further questions. And
Sure.
I'd like to bring in Sonia now. Sonia, have we covered most of the questions? Sonia, please come in.
Yes, ma'am, we have covered. There's just one question in the chat. I can see. Someone has asked that apart from vitamin D deficiency, can chronic hypothyroidism more than 25 years be a cause of body ache, body weight? I think that's psychological value. That's the last question.
Yeah, well, they should take vitamin D. That sometimes both the condition can cause vague pains. Vitamin D deficiency also can cause, as well as this hypothyroidism, if it is not controlled, can be a problem. Okay, one more problem is there, vitamin D toxicity. So if you take more vitamin D, it can cause lot of problems. So don't take vitamin D too much also. as I suggested, just the once in a month is okay, not more than that. Yeah.
Okay. Sir, can you tell us something about this thing, Aditi? You have founded Aditi, the social support group. Can you tell the audience about it?
Pardon? Pardon?
Sir, your social support group for young diabetics,
Yes.
Aditi. Can you tell the audience something about it?
Okay, you are talking about our social support group, Aditi?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Oh, that's very good. Thank you very much for asking me this question. I am really very, very pleased. So basically, ma'am, we made this group in our Department of Endocrinology, PGI, some 10 years ago. And we found that individuals with type 1 diabetes, especially young kids, are facing a lot of problems. So we started with their once a month class, education class for these kids so that they can learn. And then we made a society that is called Aditi, Association of Diabetes in Tri-City. So that is a registered society, and through this society what we do is that people those are needy type 1 diabetes kids, we provide them free insulin, glucometers, and happy to share that even this Aditi group contributed money for a simultaneous pancreas and kidney transplantation. So this society is working for the welfare of the young kids with type 1 diabetes, for educating them, and we are planning to do their vocational training also, and trying to provide them some kind of employment to these kids.
Thank you,
So this
sir.
is all about. Hello.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for telling us about the organization also. Because we started with, with some connectivity issues, I was not able to, formally welcome you. At least I have the opportunity to thank you properly.
No problem, ma'am. Thank you.
About the
Thank you.
presentation in your
Dr.
speech.
Sanjay, my last question is that vitamin D3 and magnesium, these are separate, D3 and D1?
Pardon? Vitamin?
Vitamin D3
Yeah.
and D1, D2, they are separate, or it's a one dose only?
These are the two separate things. D2 is plant origin. D3
Okay.
is animal origin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the benefit of all, I'll just ask one more question. At what time one should take vitamin D? With meals or without meals, or after half an hour or so after meals?
Probably vitamin D can be taken with a glass of milk.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, because
And calcium.
vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin, so that's why it is easy to absorb with the fat diet or the meal which is containing some amount of fat.
So what are natural sources for vitamin D2 then?
Best natural source is sunlight.
For D2?
For D2,
You said that it's nitrogen.
yeah. It is a D2 is a ergocolciferol, and this ergocolciferol is also available in the market, but not in India. It is available outside country.
So what are natural sources? Because you said it is plant origin.
Yes. So in natural source, I mentioned that good amount in the mushroom, but very less amount in some other plants, but it is not very frequently used in not eaten day-to-day practice. But you can say some vegetables maybe.
As a botanist, I know this vitamin is maximum in pumpkins. That's all.
Pumpkin.
Okay.
Yes.
My request to the audience
The yellow pumpkin.
Book some time slot for this meeting. Sir, is it okay if I share the chat with everyone?
Yeah.
Dr. Basnada, this is Sonia. Your Gmail ID in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
Dr. Sanjay,
And
plant vitamin D, plant source or animal source? Which is better between the two?
I think animal source is better.
Okay. Good, good. You are very nice.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you
The
very much.
questions will go on. I have posted your email ID also. Thank you for taking out the time. I thank you on behalf of Punjab University Alumni Association and all our participants. And I thank the participants also for their wonderful questions because it benefits everyone. Um, we have a little conscious, more conscious about the sweets we eat and the fried food we eat at least for a few days more. We wish we could see you on camera, but unfortunately, it doesn't matter because we had very good photographs on the poster as well as on the slides.
Yeah, so you can see my dynamics of the COVID-19, all the pictures.
Yes, sir. And it was a very, there was also a touch of humor in your presentation, which kept it very lively.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Taking out the time for us. And with your permission, may I end the meeting now?
One last sentence. Thank you very much for opportunity, and everybody can have virtual tea or coffee at their place. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We wish you to be here once again for thyroid problems also in future.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll invite Dr. Vedada, no worries at all. Thank you, everyone, and a big thank you to Dr. Vedada.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you.